Currently, our ski day list component is rendering all of our different ski days. In this video, we're going to add some filters so that I can see just the powder days and just the backcountry days based on links that I click on. Over in our ski day list component, we're going to make a few changes that will make this look much better. So number one, we're going to wrap all of our JSX elements in these parentheses, so they all should be wrapped. And the reason that we're doing this is because we want to wrap everything in these curly brackets. So the reason that I'm doing this is we're going to set up some variables inside of our ski day list component. We're not just going to return JSX elements, so we need to wrap the whole thing in braces. Cool, so the next thing I want to do here is let's wrap our table with a div. And the div is going to have a class name equal to ski day list. Then at the bottom of our table on line 27 here, we're going to close that div. The next thing I want to do here is we're going to add a few tags in our table header. So we're going to add a table row, and inside of this table row, we're going to add a table cell. And this table cell is going to wrap around a few of our link components. So let's first do this. We're going to add an attribute here, column span equals 4. So this will make this stretch for the entire width of our table. And now we're going to add some links. So the first link is going to be a link to list-days. And this link is going to be, instead of a self-closing tag, we're going to use this so that we can add some text. So I'll say all days. Let's add another one of these links. And this link is going to be to /list-days/powder. And I also want to make sure to have this slash right before list days. So don't forget that, as I did. Cool, so let's close this link component here. And we're going to add some text, powder days. And just for the sake of expediency, let's copy and paste that last one. We will replace powder with backcountry. And now we've created our links. Cool, so let's scroll to the top and make sure that we import the link component from React Router. So we'll import link from React Router. So if we take a look at this in our browser, we should see a couple things happening. We see our links here. Now the links aren't set up yet, but we will do that in just 1 second. Cool, so the next thing I want to do is let's add another variable here called filtered days. So our goal is to filter days based on whether it's a backcountry day or a powder day. So we're going to use the following. We're going to say, first we're going to pass filter in to this component. Here we'll say if there's no filter, or if the filter doesn't match powder or backcountry. What we want to do is we'll return days. So this will just mean that we're not filtering at all. Otherwise, we want to use the filter function, and we're going to send in the day, and we're going to add it to the list of days that match that filter. Awesome. So now with our filtered days variable, we can map over filtered days instead of days. So this is going to allow us to use this filter. So let me give that a quick save. Right now, we notice that if I go to this page and I click one of those filters, we still see that that's not quite working. Let's fix that. The place we want to fix that is within our app component. So inside of app, we're going to scroll down to where we render the ski day list. And we're going to add another value here. And the value we're going to add is filter. So we're going to pass that down as a property. This should be this.props.params.filter. Finally, I want to open my index.js file. Right now we're rendering our list days route. And we're going to nest a different route inside of here. So we're going to use route path equals, And the path here is sort of interesting. We're going to use path equals :filter. We're also going to keep component app in that place. Awesome. So this will just plug in powder or backcountry depending on what we use. So now if we refresh, we should see these links are working. Pretty cool. So the router makes it fairly easy to pass these router parameters so that we can create unique routes for filtered data.